Alright, welcome back to the dungeon. Doing a 2-for video today. Fix my camera a little bit. So this is about the Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, Nintendo Switch 2. I've been pretty excited about this console since it was announced a while ago. Yeah, I got one day off, and I got some things to say about it. Some comments, mostly compliments. Let's talk about buying it, lead up to getting this console. Back in April, I think it was, there was a lot of, it was in April, or it was probably April, yeah. Controversy about the price. $440-ish, $400 in that ballpark. And that being too much, and a lot of criticism for Nintendo for putting it for sale when the Switch, the original, which we got right here, was about half the price, maybe $250, $300. It was like $300 actually, I think, when it first came out. Something like that. It wasn't the price it is now. It's cheaper now. The original Switch models, which is what I have. And yeah, there was a lot of people are saying Nintendo being greedy, and I didn't share that opinion. I felt like, number one, it was going to be pricier, especially because when it was called the Switch 2, it indicated to me that, number one, it's going to be, in a lot of respects, similar to the Switch 1. It's going to be the same gimmick. It's a travel console, and it's going to have the ability to play on a TV. And it'll probably be compatible to some extent with previous games, like the Wii U was with Wii. I mean, Wii U is backwards compatible to the Wii games. I don't know if there's any percentage of games that are not playable on that, but as far as I know, it's 100% compatibility. So when I heard the console was going to come out, and the Switch OLED is going for $300 something right now. Let's see how much it is. Let's give it an exact price. Switch OLED is approximately $300-ish. That's $323. No, let's see. $289 on Amazon. No, maybe it's actually gone down. Let's see. Let's look at some prices. So a Switch OLED, $350. Okay, so $350 right now for that console. So obviously this is going to be better than a Switch OLED, right? It's 2. So at the baseline, it's going to have superior functions, controls, processors, updated graphics, screen, probably bigger. So it's going to be more expensive than an OLED model Switch, right? $400-ish is probably what I thought it was going to be. Now compared to its competitors, the same generation of consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox. The PS5, when it came out, I think it was like $500. Right now, this Pro is like almost $800 with all the junk you have to get, like a hard drive, or a disk drive rather. Ridiculous. PS5 is $450. Some of them is $500. These are with the discs. I'm always going with the discs. So it's up $450. Xbox Series X right now is up to $600 at Walmart Jingo. I think the average price is like $370, or maybe $425. I wasn't surprised if the Series X is like cheaper than the rest because of how horrible it's doing in sales. So that's what you got to deal with. Or that's what I considered. And when I heard this price, I didn't think it was crazy. Honestly, I thought it was on par with the Nintendo was going to make it for its current console. So that never bothered me. I knew I was going to buy one. I wasn't expecting a $300 console or a $200 console. It would be really surprising if somehow this was cheaper than a previous generation console. So that's it. And then there's all the people who are freaking out with, you know, pre-orders and I gotta get the pre-order in. I gotta get that pre-order in, and or I'm not gonna be able to get a copy of the Switch. Um, so I was never concerned about that. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna be able to go the day it's released and go pick up a copy. Which is what I did. I went to Best Buy. Not even early in the morning. It was probably like 12 in the afternoon. Walked in, grabbed a Switch, grabbed a copy of Mario Kart, physical disc or physical cartridge, walked out, and here it is, and I'm super happy. People really kind of take things a little too high, a little too far, I think. People get too worried. And even if it wasn't available day one, I could wait a week or two, a month, whatever, to get one of these because it's not the Nintendo Wii. It's not the PS5 and the Xbox Series X during COVID, where you were not going to be able to get a console for literally 2 years. You couldn't walk into a store and get a console for almost 2 years after the console, 3 years after the console was out, almost halfway through its lifespan, potentially. And those consoles I've got opinion on, but not too good for Switch though. What are my thoughts? So let's just talk about the size. I mean, pull up my Switch 2 and then pull up my Switch 1. It's just so awesome how big it is compared to it. And, you know, the screen size, you're not going to be able to get a great image from this, but just putting them side to side, there's a feel more real estate on the newer model. That's an original Switch right there, the same one I got from the beginning. I like the feel, the texture of it better than the original Switch. It's got more of like a matte-ness to it. I don't know if it's just because my greasy hands have been on this one too long. No, this is more plasticky. It's got more of like a matte feel. It feels nice on the hands. I like the control, the way it feels. And then yeah, look, it really easily downloaded all of my games from my Switch 1. That's awesome. I don't know if the memory's there. I think I have to have a Nintendo Online account, which I am going to get for the GameCube games to try it out. I haven't had a Nintendo Online account for a long time. Pretty much when I stopped playing Smash every single day, I stopped using Nintendo Online. That's what I primarily had used it for, and I had played that game for so many hours for like 3 years. So I'll probably get it to try the GameCube games because I love the GameCube, and I'm really excited about those titles. So yeah, downloaded this. This took very short amount of time to get pretty much all of these on here, and of course I grabbed Mario Kart, and man, playing this on handheld is really fun. I was never, much of playing on my Switch 1 handheld. Oh gosh, just switching to that. Switching to that is so it's jarring. It's a little jarring. It's so fun. I didn't think that, but this is just I don't like this as much now. I'll turn that down. Turn it up. I usually played handheld when I'm on an airplane ride. Sometimes play with my, be in the same room as my wife and kid. But they were doing anything crazy and they just wanted me to be present, and I don't want to feel like watching TV, so I'll play Switch. So that's usually when I play handheld, but I was always kind of because the graphics are not too good. There's certain games I would never play on handheld, like Smash. Smash, I would exclusively play on a console with a GameCube controller. And I think that'd still be the same even with the Switch too. Actually, I could use a Pro Controller with it on its stand because it's a nice big screen. But the Switch 2 is just, man, that is such a clean looking screen. And you cannot really tell on this video, but it just looks like you can see. There you go. That's better. It just looks and plays so nice. It's remarkable. And just hop it into Mario Kart World, which is really the only Switch 2 game right now, which is pretty funny. I don't know if there's ever been a game console of late where it literally only has one release title exclusive to the console. You know, you can play GameCube Online, you can play all their Switch 1 games, and a few of the games have like upgradable versions for Switch 2, but they're not Switch 2 games, right? This is really interesting how it's the only game out for the Switch right now. So Nintendo is fucking pro. I think the Wii U barely had any titles. It didn't do too well. Oh, look at that pipe frame, yeah, classic. But the fact this guy came out with just a single game, although one of the most popular, they knew they were going to sell a lot. Just thinking about how much Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold on Switch, they were hedging their bets on Mario Kart. But let's talk about how it feels just to play games. You know, this is super clean. Oh, your tires get fat. It just looks pretty. I mean, it's honestly, I don't see any sort of difference, or not much of a difference, playing this on my handheld versus playing it on my screen, which TV, which is my preference for any game console. But this is really good. This is really, really pretty. So they got the screen down. No big freaking G's, honestly. Ergonomics of holding it feels good. I haven't any issue. I played this for like a couple hours, or like an hour and a half when I first picked it up, just on the handheld, because I had to try it handheld, right? And it felt good. Like Toad House. So that's actually really awesome. Wheels get bigger as you get on the grass. So I'm saying this is a big win. Sound wise, let's see how loud it gets. Good sound. I think it's plenty loud for a handheld console. If I'm in public, obviously I'll use headphones. I think it has Bluetooth, so not that I have any Bluetooth headphones. Yeah, Farmer, yeah. Sorry. So, I really have zero criticism for this console so far. I think it fucking owns. It is a good damn console. I've been a huge fan of the original Switch. The original Switch literally was my favorite Nintendo console in terms of higher ranked consoles. Used to be GameCube for the longest time, but Switch picked it up just because of how many games it has, the variety, and I think Switch 2 is definitely going to continue that route. Just now, games are just going to look even better. I mean, graphical fidelity has never been Nintendo's thing. It's always been about gameplay, number one, making fun games. And so, when you have that, sweet Pro Racer, when you have that plus beautiful looking graphics, like this game looks like really clean, feels sharp, very responsive. It's a really pretty looking game, really pretty Mario Kart. Oh no, this console owns. So UI is basically identical to the Switch. People complain about it being too simple in themes. I don't know. I never got into themes, and I never even knew really what themes were until I really kind of explored my PS4 and PS3 a little bit more. I never really had that on my 360. I think there were themes. You know what? There's a Halo theme, a Halo 2 theme, which I usually do have. But that, for me, I never really cared about that stuff. So I like the Switch UI. I think it's just what you need. It doesn't have a bunch of extra BS. There's no crazy advertisements. There's not little drop downs getting in the way of what you want to see. Just there's your games. You can mess with some other things. Go in the shop. I guess we have game chat now, which I don't know if I'll use that function. Maybe I will. Get some friends. Need some friends. Game share, which is cool. You can share your games now and stuff like that. Virtual game cards. Really cool shit. Popping out your digital games to share those games as virtual game cards. That's fucking cool. That technically came out when the Switch, end of the Switch, but it's a Switch 2 kind of thing. I like the sounds. It's simple, clean, and I think that it is a good UI. I like it. I can always just see how many hours I've played games. And 380 hours on Smash. That's the highest I got. 380 hours on Smash. Yeah. So Switch 2. As far as I'm concerned, initial thoughts, like a week. It's been a week? Almost a week after it came out. Ranking it on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 10. Honestly, I didn't buy a PS5 until last... no, it was 2023, I think. And only because they dropped the price. It was Black Friday, and it's the new standard price. Because they dropped the price down from like $500. Because they've actually started to have a few games I was interested in. But look at me. Day one playing a console. I don't know if I've ever even done it before, but definitely didn't do it with Xbox. Definitely didn't do it with Sony PlayStation. And I'm a big fan of both of those game consoles. I love the 360. Love PS4 is such a good console with a lot of good games. But Nintendo, maybe I'm just a big freaking Nintendo fan. Like I'm a Nintendo geek. I don't know. But I had to play this. And I'm not even a super huge Mario Kart guy. I do like it for playing with friends. Mario Kart 8 was fun, but I didn't get it until maybe a year ago. Just because my sister made me download it while she was over. But this is a fun game. Like, I actually am finding myself wanting to go and explore the tracks and see all the things and hear all the music. It's got that Smash Brothers kind of like love for the series. There's a lot of hidden little secrets, a lot of things, costumes, getting food, and changing costumes, which I'm actually a big fan of. There it is again. So this, Mario Kart World review too. Loving it too. It's a fun game. So if they were going to release a game for the system, we'll start out with this is a good one. And I'm excited for what's coming next on this console. I'm going to get that Donkey Kong game. I'm so excited to see him have his own 3D platformer after so many years. His redesign, I do like his redesign. Toadette. So I'm excited for what's to come on this console. And I think that the Switch 2 is going to be a bestseller just like the Switch 1, which I think might be the best-selling game in the United States and almost the best-selling game ever. Console ever. I think Switch 2 is going to follow that legacy. That's what I think. So, 10 out of 10 for the Switch 2, and you'll find me playing this puppy quite a lot in the next, the coming years. Let's see what I got. Same thing. All right. Let's get a little Luigi action there. Can't really see it too well. Camera stinks. Love it. Oh, forgot to talk about doing this. This is awesome. I love doing this. This is, I feel more satisfying than the rails. This has kind of a shakiness to it. I've had this guy for a while. It's got a kind of shakiness to it. this feels secure, really secure. Last comments, and so that's it. Thanks for listening.